Alright, get your snacks ready, get your drinks ready, because this is the review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 8, Episode 13, Jamaican Beef Catty. So yeah, the episode starts off with Portia, and Portia's just getting ready. You know, she has her sister there and her stylist there because she wants to make sure that she dresses appropriately. You know, long flowy dresses and everything tight. We know how Portia do. So after that, we get to actually Cynthia and Peter. They're talking about how, you know, Peter wants to show everyone his homeland and his culture, so he's going to leave early to make sure everything's right. And that was the whole point of that thing with them. And then we have Kim Fields. Kim Fields is bringing her kids. She's bringing her kids to this adult-themed vacation. But she's bringing a babysitter and her husband, so she should be good this time. She should be good. We actually probably won't see the kids after they land and go into that hotel until it's time to go back to the States. So yeah, everyone's showing up at the airport. Kenya's bringing her guy. Remember the guy who was helping her with the house, and also the guy that she was kind of friends with from the gym. And Marlo was like, "You two should date." Yeah, she's bringing him. So that's cool, and they look really nice together. Of course, Phaedra and Portia are bringing each other, and Kim has the kids. She has the kids. She has her husband. So there's that. Yeah. So after that, they all land, and they see Cynthia sees Kim's kids, and it's just kind of like, Smurf? Like, what's going on here? So, of course, you have Phaedra on the bus. You have Portia on the bus. And it's like, wait a minute. Bob Whitfield is with Sheree. No, they're not romantically involved. Sheree's just like, yeah, we're going to work on our friendship. And, you know, I believe it when Sheree says that, because I don't. Bob wants her and wants it, and Sheree's just like, yeah, bro, we cool, right? Bro, we cool. So there is that. And when Kenya comes on the bus, everyone's just like, oh yeah, hey buddy, as far as her and her date. And they're all looking at it like, all right, so where'd she get this one? Because, you know, that's the running joke with Kenya. It's like, what agency did she go to get her guy? And so Cynthia's kind of trying to figure out, all right, how did this happen between you two come together? And because we remember how bad it was with them on TV before, and they were at odds because of the whole custody thing. So it looks like they're on the ups, and they're probably doing it for the kids and also for themselves. And so that's really nice and all. Shows a lot of growth and maturity. And it's interesting because you have Portia making jokes about, you know, her and her mouth, and potentially giving it up to someone here in Jamaica. And you have kids in the back. And clearly this is one time where Kim is very relaxed, because she seems to be going with the flow, the ebb and flow and things. And she's just having a good time. And then something really awkward happens. Phaedra decides to inquire, so what's going on with the commercial? Then Cynthia has to tell the truth of what's really going on. Well, you know, long story short, I'm gonna be having Kim. She's gonna be the main producer, director, because, you know, Kim was saying how you can't have a producer and director. And of course, Kenya's like, of course you can, but I see how it is. I missed one meeting, and it's because of that you're trying to sketch me out of the situation. And it's like, no, it's not just because you missed one meeting. It's because this was a business thing, and you didn't properly prepare. And as a result, it just felt like, you know what? We're going to have to go and do our own thing. And we'll see that Kenya doesn't appreciate that. We'll see that Kenya doesn't appreciate that at all. So, and poor Cynthia. Cynthia was just like, damn, I really wanted to talk to them privately about this. I didn't want to make this a group thing. So now Kenya's going to feel embarrassed and all of that, which is exactly what happened. So they show up to the hotel. They're greeted by, of course, drinks and these red... Are they roses? They're like red flowers, beautiful. The hotel is beautiful. It's brand new. Peter's trying to make sure that it's like everything is state of the art. Everything is new. It's fresh. You know, we're not going on vacation and the rooms are mediocre. These rooms, like I said, are beautiful. They have they all have a view to the ocean. Not the ocean. They all have a view to the water. And, I mean, great job. Shout out to Peter. Shout out to Cynthia. Shout out to Bravo for footing the bill, I'm sure. It was probably like, all right, let's see how this goes. We'll reimburse half or so if this all works out. But anyway, it was really nice. It was really nice. I mean, and everyone was raving about the reviews. No one complained about the rooms. So you know it has to be good because this is the borderline highfalutin group that's like, it's a 1/4 inch smaller than what I'm used to, so you know it had to be good. So things are kind of weird because, like I said, Sheree is with Bob and he's just trying to make it more than what it is. And she's just like, bro, we friends. And so he's like, all right, we cool. It's like, all right, there it is. But I'm glad to see them two having a good time. This episode was really more so about more people coming back together overall than apart. Well, actually, no. Maybe I should say equally. Maybe that's why it didn't turn into a crap fest. But, again, there was a quick little powwow between Cynthia and Peter. It was interesting because Kim and her whole family went inside the tub. I was like, oh, that's kind of cute, but it just feels kind of weird because of this show. So, we have Candy. Candy she's just like, damn, I know I'm here, but, you know, usually it's drama, so, well, at least I can relax at home. And then Todd's just like, you know, Peter, it's his homeland, so I'm sure they were going to do non-touristy stuff. And then Candy was like, crap. This actually might have been a good trip to go on for once. So we get to the first of many uncomfortable situations. And long story short, it's Cynthia, it's Kenya, it's also Kim Fields. And they're all having this huge issue because Cynthia is finally letting Kenya know what happened. Look, Kim was at the meeting. Kim showed up. So I'm working with Kim. How do you feel about it? I kind of don't care about how you feel about it, but how do you feel about it? And so it was just like, this was Kenya's face most of the time. Even if it wasn't, that's how it was because of how she felt. And understandably so to a certain degree, because Kenya was under the impression that at least hear me out before you go and decide, you know what? I'm solely working with this one person. I get that. Logic dictates and understands and gets that. But the whole thing is, how are you now having this argument with this other grown woman, which Kim Fields? And first of all, you're ignoring her while talking about her. And so talk about being dismissive and all that stuff. You're doing the same things to her. And then Kenya was just really immature in this whole situation. I mean, she was calling her Mrs. Garrett, making 2D references, bringing up the fact that her kids are on this adult vacation and all this stuff. And it's coming out, you know where it's coming from? She's hurt. Kenya, anytime she feels like she's denied because of her past, she really overreacts. That's the thing. I thought it was Kenya being immature, but no, that's not what it is. Because of Kenya's past, it causes her to act out whenever she feels like she's being denied by someone else that she considers close. That's the thing. And so, it was just really dumb. It was just really dumb. Because the whole thing, it was bickering. And it was one-sided bickering because Kim was trying to keep it cool, calm, and collected because she's like, this is a business sit down. This is a business meeting. Why are you acting this way? And Kenya didn't care. So Kenya at one point actually got out of her chair. I was like, let me give you a round of applause. And he was like, let me help you out, old lady, essentially. And while Kim was still sitting down, of course not asking for help, she went, pulled out her chair for her. Not pulled it from under her, but pulled out her chair. And I was like, Kenya, you have 2 seconds to get your hands off of that chair. You have 2 seconds to get your hands off of that chair. Okay. And I was the only one that felt that way. Because Kim was also ready to go. She was like, "This, I'm gonna get this. This is when we see Kim 2.0, Regine 3.0, Tootie 10.0 finally come out. This is unfortunately the person that we were looking for." And so, while all of this is going on, this is Cynthia. It's just like, oh, no, stop. No, stop. Oh, I'm so, oh my God. No. But I'm just like, Cynthia, take charge of the situation. If that person's your friend, if my friend was acting that way, I definitely would have played it off and just kind of distract her and be like, you know what, we're done. All right, come on, let's go. Let's get up. Let's go. You don't just come on. And you're... Anyway. Because that's the real issue she had. She doesn't like Kim Fields. And then to top it all off, you chose Kim over her. So of course she's going to be upset. Not understandably so. But whatever. So it ends there. And Kenya's basically like, oh yeah, whatever, we good. So yeah, we have... Can I just say I love this Phaedra. And I wish this Phaedra was out and about like a couple of seasons ago. Her kids were little at that point and she was still having kids. So, of course, we couldn't see that. But I'm like, damn, this is the Phaedra that I thought we were going to get when she originally came onto the scene. Even though she was pregnant because she was still fun. And I just love this relationship she has with Cynthia where it's no cares. They're good. They haven't had a fallout yet. That's why I'm like, is this friendship real? Because... If, because some friends don't really have fallouts. They're just have a good time together and that's it. But if they have a fallout, are they able to come back from that? That'll determine their friendship. And at some point, it'll happen. At some point, whether it's big or small. But anyway, so you have them just kind of talking about, oh, they're going to find them a man here in Jamaica and what they're going to do and all this stuff. And I'm like... I just really love it because, you know, Portia's always had that fun spirit ever since she got divorced from her husband. And Kenya, woo! And Phaedra is just all about the almost borderline turn up ever since, you know, her kids got a little bit older and Apollo's out of the house. So now she's free! Freedom! Yeah, so Kim comes back to her hotel room and it's just like, she recants the whole story. It's like, I sat down with this woman. And the whole thing is, she was acting crazy. She was acting a certain way. Because, no, she was upset that her friend chose me over her. Because she wasn't being professional, doing what she was supposed to do. I have the credits. I have the career behind me. And all this stuff. And she's acting a certain way. And her husband's just like, what up, though? What up, though? Word? What? Yeah. No, this is like... And essentially, like, what you're not going to do is do that. Because you are grown. You are grown. You let those women bait you. You lost. You lost. And because, you know, Bravo's so bad because while Kim was venting, they had the camera pan in, pan out, pan in, pan out, pan in, pan out. I'm just like, Bravo's like, look. We're paying this woman a lot of money. We are going to get our money's worth. We're going to get our money's worth from this one trip. Because we know once it's done, it's probably going to be over. We're probably not going to see her much anymore. So it was funny. But of course her husband was right. They did bait her. And she did fall for it. And when I say they, I mean Kenya. And also he was talking, I think, about the show in general. Like, This is what they wanted from you, and you finally gave it to them. Chill out, because it's not going to get any better. Relax. 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 We in the islands. So, we have, who do we have? We have Kenya. Kenya's talking. Why I keep saying too many damn K's? We have Cynthia. She goes to Nene's room, and it's just like, do you think anyone would be expecting me coming? Do you think they'll be surprised? How do you think they'll feel? And of course, it's going to be like, oh, no, they won't see it coming type of thing. They definitely won't. They definitely won't. So, we get to Kenya, and she's with her guy. She's figuring out what she's going to wear. And, you know, at the end of the day, she's just like, you know what? I'm Team Kenya, so that's all that matters. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this team stuff. Why don't we all just be Team Jesus and get over it? That's it. Team Jesus. That's all we need. Team Jesus. And so, because Kenya doesn't even want to go right now because she feels like it's going to be an issue. And she's right about that, because there definitely will be. So, you have Kenya. Why do I keep saying Kenya? We have Phaedra, the Oz. Phaedra, and we have Portia, and we have everyone else getting ready. So, to go to this dinner. This epic dinner. This is the best episode off of the whole season. I must say, I'm just going off with the cuff. Well, actually, maybe next week might be even better. I don't know. It could be. It could be. So, everyone's coming to the table. And Bob, I don't know why he says this, but Bob is just like, you know, 15 seconds is enough. Sex-wise. It's like, 15 seconds? He was like, yeah, a good 15 seconds? It'd be the best 15 seconds of your life. And Sheree's like, see, and this is why we're not together. 15 seconds? What am I supposed to do with 15 seconds? That ain't worth crap. 15 seconds. So anyway, everyone's like, where is Peter? Where is Cynthia? And they're just like, oh, maybe, you know, in Jamaica, and they're having a good time in that hotel room. But no, long story short, Nene comes out, and everyone's just like, this is everyone's reaction, except for Portia. Portia's like, oh, I didn't know you were supposed to be here, what's going on? And then, everyone else is just like, Kenya was like, Sheree was like, Phaedra was just like, and the guys are like, okay, and it's Nene. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Phaedra was just like, she's back. And it was like, last time I talked, Nene, I didn't know that you were going to be back. So anyway, it's interesting. It is really interesting because Nene hugs all the women. Of course, she doesn't have a problem with Kim, so she hugs Kim. She hugs Phaedra, and it's just like, hey, because you know they just had a weird general relationship, but it wasn't the worst. It wasn't like a Candy and Nene relationship. Kim was really excited to see her. It was just like, oh, we're finally meeting type of thing. Because of course they have no bad blood, and they might have met before. They might have. And Nene's just like, Bob? Because remember, they go way back. Her and Sheree and all of them, they go way back. That's how it is, though. They had a really good friendship before the falling out. So, as a result, because it's like they don't even remember why they had the issue with each other, it was, oh my gosh, the both of you, this is exactly like old times. And it was this, because you know how Sheree's voice is kind of stays lower like this, and then when she's really excited, or maybe even irritated at times, it goes like this. Oh my god, I can't believe you doing this! So, oh damn, sorry about that. Reenactment. Damn, I messed that up. But yeah, so, I mean, I say she hugged everyone. She hugged everyone. Even, what's her name? Even Kenya. And it was weird because I'm like, wait a minute. Smurf? Wait a minute. Am I missing something? And Kenya was just like, oh, hi. You know, everyone was doing the fake high pitch. Hi, I can't believe you're here. So they just talk about how they came back together as friends, how they reconnected. And as a result, that's why they're there. And so it gets brought up about why Cynthia's here in the commercial. And because Nene's just like, oh, you know, I'm going to be in Cynthia's commercial, by the way. And so Kenya was just like, oh, it's going to be the two blondes working together. All right. I thought you wanted a fashion forward commercial, but okay. You get what you get and you keep the rest. That's it. So after that, we have Kenya was still in her feelings. She really was. She was still in her feelings. Because she was still in her feelings. That's all I have to say. So it gets brought up as to what's going on between Kenya and Kim and all that. And it's just like, you know what? Bottom line, we're not friends no more. We're not friends no more because we were never friends. And I thought, Cynthia, that you and I were at a different place. Kenya does not want to speak about this situation. Peter wants to bring it up, but Kenya does not want to speak about it. So we're not talking about it. Do you understand that we are not talking about it? Kenya was like, if I had a cliff to jump off of, I would. And Fisher was like, Lord, if you were suicidal, oh Lord, Jesus, Lord, fix it. And so she's like, if I had a spoon, I would gouge my eyes out, because that's how serious I am. And Fisher was like, all right, where's the spoon? Spoon at table 1. So Kenya gets up and leaves because Kenya's all in her feelings. And Kim's just like, you know what? This is a business thing. So why are you having such a real problem? And Kim's husband is just like, you know, I honestly forgot what he says, but oh my God. Oh, he was like, you know what? You know what? Kenya's feelings got hurt. Kenya's feelings got hurt, and as a result, she's acting this way because someone who's her friend was in the power of authority and told her no. And as a result, she couldn't handle that. And I was like, this is a business decision. This is about professionalism. And Nene was like, read, honey, read. And so then Phaedra, of course, she cleaned it all up and was like, well, you know, Kim and, you know, Cynthia and Kenya are friends. And so, as a result, she feels a certain way about the situation. Essentially reinstating what he said, but I guess in a nicer way. And in unison, you have Phaedra and Portia take a sip because then Nene starts to talk, and it's just like, you know what? What does she have a problem with? What does she have a problem with? And Sheree's like, you're messing up the whole thing, Nene. You come back for 2 seconds and all this happens. As a joke, but also kind of serious. And so then the question is asked, how are you? Cynthia, are you two friends? And it was like, because that's your girl, right? That's your girl. And it was like, oh, no, she's not my girl. She's not my best friend. We're still getting to know each other. And so Nene's just like, mm-hmm. And Phaedra and, what's her name? Phaedra and Portia are just like, oh, really now? That was your girl 2 episodes ago. Now that Nene's back, you're flip-flopping? You're floundering? Fish? Oh my gosh. And so then Kim's husband was just saying how, you know what? As the boss, you can squash all of this because you're really the one in charge. You have control over this situation. And Nene was like, yes, I like him. Yes. He has sense. Yes. I'm going to be joking around saying that he might be one of the girls, but okay. Well, actually, no, that was Kenya doing that next week. So we have this little powwow between, mainly between Phaedra and Portia. You also see Cynthia and her husband just in the bathroom. Cynthia's trying to twerk, and we know how that went. Not Portia. Kenya with her guy, and Kenya's slowly eating a banana and also eating a large grape, and she was like, oh, it's too big, it's so big, and it's like, oh, that's what you like? I'm like, oh, you know what, this is good, because at least they're friends. At least this feels authentic, and Kenya has someone who is someone who has the same energy as she does, but it's calmer, can keep a cool head. So anyway, we get to the official return of Sheree and Nene. And it's just like, oh, who's at the door? It's like, oh, Sheree, oh. And remember, because when they were good. And they were showing the clips about how they would just have fun time together. And then it's like, when we're bad, we're really bad. And that's when we saw Kim and Nene were trying to go to Sheree's party. Kim was on the list. Nene wasn't. And so, the epic fight when they had their final scene together when, well, except for the reunion, when it was just like, fix your veneers. Fix your veneers. And it was like, fix your face. It's like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Fix your body. Fix your face. So, again, it was just nice to see them come together. And, it was really nice to see them come together. And so it was, again, kind of, they discussed the same thing that Portia and Phaedra talked about, which is, this is funny because Portia and her sister really look alike in the face. They really do. When their hair is like pulled back, they're definitely related. Which is interesting since it's her half-sister and the genes are just so strong, I guess maybe on the women's side or whatever. But, of course, they were just talking about how Cynthia and that flip-flopping, and that floundering, I can't do it. And that's what everyone's feeling. That's what everyone's feeling. So, Sheree's just trying to figure out, oh, so Cynthia and Kenya are best friends? They best friends? Ah! Psych! And again, it's like, well, we're best friends, so that can't be your girl. And it's like, that's your real friend. If it was your real friend, then you would say so. If not, then what happened would happen. And you know, Portia is still seeing that guy that she saw in Miami. And again, I love Portia and Phaedra's on-screen relationship because they're just having fun. They're just having a good time. You know, knowing the Bishens, it's just like those two are doing the most in the most entertaining way. And I love it. So we have this really cool sit-down dinner with the Tuckers. All the Tuckers. So, the baby, the bee, Candy, Todd, Riley, and Todd's daughter. What's Todd's daughter's name? I don't know. But, you know, she has a job, and Candy's just like, you know, since I have nothing to do now, I'm on Instagram, and I'm looking through your timeline, and I see all these love posts, and it's like, ooh, so who's the man in your life? Who the man in your life? What's going on? What's going on, girl? What's going on, baby girls? And Riley's laughing, and she's just like, you know, no, I'm just working, doing me. And Todd's like, oh, word? So what's going on there? And, yeah, long story short, Mama Joyce might come in to watch the baby initially. Everyone except for Candy's like, the hell that's happening? We locking the doors. We turn off all the lights. When that doorbell rings, when that knocking on that window, we hear nothing. We see nothing. So there is no one. Mom Joyce isn't stepping in this house. So anyway, we're back in Jamaica, and you hear this knock on the door, and it's like, who is knocking on the door like that? And Peter originally gets up to go and get it, and I'm like, wait a minute, Stage, what's going on? Stage, what's going on? And he was like, no, why don't you get it? And I'm like, why are you telling her to get it? Why do you want her to get it? And so, what ends up happening is, it's Mallory! Exactly. Mallory shows up, and she's just like, ah! She's like, what? What are you doing here? It's like, I can't believe you two. You two working together to surprise me? What's going on? Exactly. That's how all of us feel. What is really going on this trip? So, Kenya gets a knock as well. Her guy goes and opens the door. I'm sure she was already prepped. And it's Sheree. Sheree comes in, and Sheree fills her in on last night. Because you know, that's what Sheree actually does. I remember, this is what Sheree would always do. It'd just be like, alright, let's cut the BS. Let's play that all on Front Street. What was going on last night? And so, Kenya talks about, of course, she doesn't like Kim Fields and all of that. And it's like, well, if you want to work with that, if you want to do this, do that with her, we'll see how that works out. And so, it's just like, you know, I'm supposed to be friends with Cynthia. And it's like, oh, really? So, would you say she's your best friend? And she was like, yeah, she's the best friend of mine. And it's like, well, does she feel the same way about you? Well, long story short, she said, and I quote, we're still trying to build a friendship and figure things out. And so, as a result, it's just like, damn it, Sheree, I appreciate you going and filling her in, but was it necessary at this point? Yes, it was. It really was. Because you know what? Cynthia has been floundering and flip-flopping with this whole topic. If someone's your friend, they're your friend. If they're not, they're not. If they're not as close as they think you are, you need to let them know so that at least they know. All my friends know where they stand because, no, I pretty much just do me. So no one can be offended at that point. It's just like, oh, there's Raymond. Okay, he's cool. Okay, he's gone for the next couple of months. Oh, it's Raymond again. Romie. So that's just how it is. So, we have Mallory, and it's just like, Mallory comes in all black, her usual attire, and they're like, oh, we're in the islands, we're going to have to do something about it. So they give her this nice red and gold color outfit, and they're all going to Cynthia's room, because, not all going to Cynthia's room, Kenya's in Cynthia's room now. It's like, Mallory, what are you doing here? It's like, oh, surprise! And then I was like, okay, so you guys are okay now? This show's so weird. So, she's like, I need to talk with your sister. Can I have a moment? It's like, yeah, of course. And then Cynthia was like, oh, she says she don't know if she has to read me, so keep your ear to that door. Barge in if you need to. This is Kenya Moore we're talking about. So, yeah. We have this weird situation where the truth is coming out, and it's like, you know, here's the thing. Cynthia flip-flopped because how she said it was not how it was. She probably meant what she was telling Kenya. But she did essentially say that we're still building a friendship. That's what she said. We're still building a friendship. So she wasn't trying to have Kenya think of it that way. And I'm just like, you know what? Kenya, this is one time I'm with you, because if you're really friends, then you're really friends. Cynthia is on some BS right now, and we all smell it. We all smell it. It's very pungent in the air. So I'm just like, you know what? This is too much. And you have Cynthia's like, you know what? Now you're pissing me off. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're pissing me off. It's like, why are you upset? I'm the one who should be upset because you're denying me. And you know Kenya can't be denied because her mother denied her. And so she has this huge conflict, this whole thing where if you're denying her, then she gets really upset because it brings her back to her childhood. Now, she's never addressed it that way, but we all know that's the real issue. So, it's, Cynthia's like, look, this is always the Kenya show. Get over yourself. You can't compare my friendship with Nene's friendship. We went through different stuff. The history is very different. Nene, now she didn't go into detail, but I'm thinking to myself, Nene was there for me and there with me when I was sick and all this stuff and initially going through things with Peter. You were there at the tail end when I had that other issue with Peter. So, essentially that was it. This was my favorite episode of the season so far. It took 13 tries, but they got it right in this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe. It's felt like the old Real Housewives. And I was like, alright, Nene was missing. She really was, because in one way or another, she does kind of change the energy and the dynamics of the show. And I will say that. So please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Please come back for next week, because the part 2 to these shenanigans are upon us. And I'm ready. So, goodbye for now.